Hey everyone! First of all, I just want to thank you guys so much for all of the wonderful comments and emails that I've gotten from you. It's just been very encouraging to receive all of the positive feedback, so thank you. I also just wanted to update you on what my life has been like for the last 6 weeks or so. I have pursued my career in real estate, and I'm feeling really good about it. I was given a very unique opportunity to be the first and only brand new agent in my office. And it's just been really neat because I've been able to work side by side with some really uh, knowledgeable realtors that have just been um, fantastic towards me. They're all really excited to help me, and it's just a really great experience. So I'm feeling very good mentally, and I've realized that the better I feel mentally, the better I feel physically. So it's been great. Um, of course, I am not cured by any means. I've still got the fibromyalgia and I'm still struggling with pain and chronic fatigue. But it has definitely been good for me to go back to work. And real estate is just a wonderful career choice for me because if I am having a bad day and I just can't get up and work, I have the option to stay home. So it's been really good for me. So, I guess I've got to do a combination of a few different things in this one video, so I'll try not to make it too long. But a lot of people have sent me emails about the supplement video that I made. Um, I want to be careful with this because I don't want to say that something worked for me and have you think that it's going to work for you because all of our bodies are obviously different. So there's been a few people that have asked me if I would recommend Cymbalta or Lyrica, and they've shared the horror stories that they've heard. And I just want to say, to take all of that with a grain of salt because um, some of the medications that work for me are obviously not going to work for you, and vice versa. So, um, with that being said, out of that video that I made, I would definitely say that if I could recommend just one thing, it would be the 5-HTP because that, in all honesty, is something that has worked really well for me. But I encourage you to do your own research on that and to talk to your doctor about it and just do what you think is right for your body. So, with that being said, I wanted to present a book to you called The Fibromyalgia Solution. Some of you that have emailed me, I've already told you guys about this video via emails, but it's written by Dr. David Dryland, and in this book, he talks about a medication called Mirapex. You might recognize the name Mirapex because it's advertised on TV to treat restless leg syndrome, which is kind of ironic because I feel like I have restless body syndrome. I've got it in my arms and in all my joints, and so I guess it's no surprise that this is one thing that has actually worked really well for me. Um, but again, I want to be cautious about talking about it because, Mirapex is not FDA approved to treat fibromyalgia. And so it's an off label prescription, and, a lot of doctors probably wouldn't even consider prescribing it for anything other than restless leg syndrome. I had to bring the book in and show it to my doctor, and he monitored me very closely when I started. But it did work for me. And I've heard a lot of people that have had some really great positive results, but there's also been quite a few people that just can't tolerate it um, because it can cause like stomach aches and headaches and things like that. I would say for the first 4 days or so, I had some very bad headaches and some bad stomach aches. And I did, think about quitting it. I almost gave up on it because it was pretty overpowering. But then I decided to start breaking the pills in half, and I just slowly increased my dose to the dosage that was prescribed, which at the time was a very low dosage to begin with, but it was still too much for me at one time. Which is another thing that I just want to bring to your attention is that the dosage that's talked about in this book that is effective for treating fibromyalgia is much higher than what doctors prescribe patients to treat restless leg syndrome. So, my doctor was very apprehensive to bump me up to such a high dosage, but it was done over a very long period of time. We were slowly increasing the dosage, letting my body get used to it, and so forth. So, I'm not on it right at this moment. I quit it thinking that it wasn't working as well as it really was. And then after I quit it and my symptoms returned, I realized, like, it really did help, and now I need to get back on it. But I'd stopped taking it because I was just going through some financial problems, and I just, I thought that it was something that I could live without. So I'll be getting back on it at the end of the month. I just wanted to share with you out of the book. Um, let's see here. It says, as you now understand, depleted dopamine causes most of your painful symptoms. Mirapex and Requip, which is also a medication used to treat restless leg syndrome, are medications typically prescribed for Parkinson's disease patients who suffer from dopamine depletion in a different part of the brain. When given to fibromyalgia patients, these medications are remarkably effective at relieving or eliminating fibromyalgia pain because they work by replacing dopamine, allowing your autonomic nervous system to once again filter unwanted sensations. In August 2005, Dr. Andrew Holman, the acknowledged pioneer in the field of dopamine agonists in fibromyalgia, published the results of a major placebo-controlled trial testing Mirapex in the treatment of fibromyalgia. Dr. Holman proved that Mirapex, when compared with the placebo, was very helpful in treating the symptoms of fibromyalgia. The patients taking Mirapex had less pain, functioned better, and had more energy than those taking a placebo. Nearly all of the patients in the study improved on some measure. Almost half of the participants taking Mirapex had a greater than 50% reduction in their pain after just 14 weeks. The main side effects included weight loss, anxiety, diarrhea, and morning tiredness. So, as I said, Requip is also prescribed to treat restless leg syndrome. But in this book, as far as it treating fibromyalgia, it doesn't have as great of a success rate as the Mirapex. So just keep that in mind. But if you absolutely cannot tolerate the Mirapex, give the Requip a try. I've never tried it, but you never know until you try it. So, as far as dosage goes, you start on a very low dose. The starting dose, I'm not sure what page it's on, but I believe the starting dose is like 0.125 milligrams, and the recommended dose to actually treat fibromyalgia is 4.5 milligrams. So when I quit, I was at 4 milligrams, but that was over a 6-month period of time, and it took quite a while to get up to that 4 milligrams. So the reason why I'm sharing that with you is because so far I've only shared supplements, and I've been on the fence with the Mirapex thing because yes, it did seem to work for me, but because it's not FDA approved, and I don't know what your chances are of having a doctor that will prescribe it. I just didn't want to steer you in a direction where you're not even going to be able to get it. So I would suggest getting the book and printing out whatever research you can find that's credible, and bring it into your doctor's office and see what your doctor says. So I have a good relationship with my doctor. I've been seeing him for several years, and he genuinely wants to help me. So, but I know that doctors like that are few and hard to find. So, anyway, another thing I wanted to talk about really quick is the video that I had made, the failing marriage syndrome video. I really appreciate all the comments and emails that I'd gotten on that video, but I also just wanted to take the opportunity to say that my marriage really isn't bad. I was just going through something that a lot of you have probably gone through as well. It's hard for a spouse to really understand what's going on when you're dealing with something like fibromyalgia. I didn't realize how helpless and hopeless my husband felt. He felt like a failure because his job is to protect me and to comfort me, and it just felt like there was nothing he could do that would make it go away. And so making that video actually presented an opportunity for us to really talk about it, because he actually watched the video, unbeknownst to me, until he came in one day and got down on his knees in front of me and apologized and just poured his heart out to me. And I realized that, I'm not the only one that's going through this. This is affecting my husband and my whole family, and everybody is dealing with it differently. So, the 5 love languages. If you've never heard of this book, it's very thin. It's a book that you can just, read in bed with your spouse. It's, it's short and sweet, and it's very helpful. You can find out what your love language is, and you can find out what your husband's love language is. And and it's interesting to realize how each love language is different from the other, and how there's different ways that you need to treat your spouse based on their love language. So I recommend it. It's fun to read, and it, obviously it gives you the opportunity to spend some one-on-one time with your hubby. So um, anyway, with that being said, I really appreciate you guys that are watching my videos. I really feel like you guys are a huge, you just all play a huge role in my support system, and just knowing that you guys are out there and there for me means the world to me. So thank you. Take care.